Sunderland fans. Welcome back to Black Cats TV. We're back just to do a very, very quick, very last-minute preview of Swansea this Saturday, 3 o'clock. We will be doing a live stream, so please join us to check that out as well. But Swansea City. Not a happy team that we play. I think I'm counting back here. 3 wins in total since January of 2012, and I know you're thinking there's probably lots of times where we haven't played them in there, but there's a good nearly 20 games within that where we've only won 3. Of course, we won the most recent one. We won 3-2 down at Swansea in December. Goals from, I think it was Ballard, Neil and Job. We won 3-2. Yes, because we went 2-0 down inside like 20 minutes or so, and didn't look like we were going to have the best of days, that one on there. But prior to that, there was 5 losses and 1 draw, mixture of places there. In fact, the last time we beat them, both teams were in the Premier League. It was when Jermaine Defoe scored a hat-trick at whatever Swansea's ground's called, I don't know. When we were in that lovely, lovely green kit that we had as well. I think Van Aanholt got the other one for us there. But prior to that, a 2-0 win in 2012. And prior to that, we hadn't beaten them since April of 1964. So, but there was a long gap between those games there. So, yeah, not the best team in our records anyway. But everything's there to be broken. Looking at the league table, of course, everyone knows that we've secured playoffs now. We're can't be knocked out of there. So it's just about finding out who will be playing against. Hello, Cat. Get off the desk. Thank you. It depends if we're going to, if Sheffield United and Leeds, Burnley, or if any of them keeps slipping up, then potentially we've got a chance of edging top 2, really. But we're more importantly focusing on ourselves and getting the wins and momentum together for the playoffs. Currently in the playoffs would be Sheffield United, Sunderland, Bristol and Coventry. So ideally Coventry would drop out of that one. Swansea, I wouldn't say they're out of the playoffs. I mean, they are out of the playoffs. They're massively out of it. But they've got 51 and 62. So they're in a very 62 to get in. So they're in a very similar position to us in terms of chasing the top 2 for them. But a lot of these teams have to play each other again. So you never know. There's always one team that has a crazy run at the end and manages to sneak in. And usually they go on about winning it at that point as well. But not this year. This year will be our year. So if we have a look at Swansea's recent results, Wednesday night they beat Plymouth Argyle 3-0. Very upsetting for the Green Army. A little soft spot for Plymouth there. I hope they do stay up there. Before that, they beat Derby 1-0. They did draw 2-2 with Leeds before that, but lost 2-0 to Burnley prior. Lost 1-0 to Watford. Beat Middlesbrough 1-0 and drew with Preston. Back into February, they beat Blackburn. They lost to Stoke. Lost to Sheffield. Beat Bristol City. Lost to Coventry. So a very mixed bag of results for the Swans. But we're not going all the way back to when we beat them, of course. But I mean, if they play anything like the first 20 minutes in our game, I think they'll do really well. If they play like the rest of the game, we should be all right and get 3 points again for us. Looking at their potential danger men, as it were, and lineups. They've got Liam Cullen is their top striker, 37 goals, 37 games, 10 goals, 37 goals, amazing. And then you've got Zan Vitonic, 6 goals, Harry Darling, 4 goals, Bianchini, 3 goals, and you start to go down on there. I don't see any former Sunderland players in their lineup. That's a disgrace. And in terms of assisters, we've got Ronald on 7, Timon on 4, Part Harris on 4, Key on 4, Darling on 3. So again, a rather mixed bag between the teams. So how did they set up previously? If we have a quick look here at the Plymouth Argyle game, of course, it was a bit of a different task for them playing Plymouth Argyle to playing us, but they set up in a 4-2-3-1, so a very similar sort of position to us there. Darling, Kambango and Timon and Key across the back. Kyle Norton was swapped in later on. Then you've got Lewis O'Brien and Joe Allen and Franco as the midfield 3. Ronald out right, Ji-sung out on the left, and Vipomnik out up top there. So 4-2-3-1, very similar to us. I mean, they had massive share of possession against Plymouth Argyle. But hey ho, it's what happens when you play three at the back, Plymouth. That's what's going to happen to you. So if we go back to how probably we would line up, I don't think we're going to play the same team that played against Norwich. I know he rang a lot of the changes in that game. If I bring up who we had on there, just so that we have it in front of us. But I don't expect to see that sort of same, I want to call it an experimental lineup. I know that's probably the best thing to do with the playoffs by. I know there's a potential injury to Job, which obviously you don't want to make any worse. We're going to need him, of course, there. But I mean, BBC is incredibly wrong. They said we played 4-4-2 with Alan Brown up top. So I don't think that's right on here as well. But the team was Patterson, Hume, Meppen, O'Nien, Hjelde, Alexic, Neil, Rigg, Watson, Brown and Mayenda. And then on the bench we had Anderson, Bainbridge, Isidore, Jones, Lavery, Enzo, Middlemas, Moore and Patrick Roberts. And I don't know if any of you have watched a lot of the game, but it won't live long in the memory, shall we say. I'd like to think we can win this game. I think it would really help us, not to because it doesn't matter about the playoffs anymore now. We're very much inside the playoffs there. It's more just we want to carry on a bit of momentum into the playoffs, don't we, there? And make sure with these 5 games left to go that we're not losing and giving away silly chances, because it'll come back to haunt us there. Best thing for us at the minute is Sheffield United seem to be falling away. I know Leeds have just won the last game, but before that they'd only won 1 in 5. And that's 5 that I can see here as well. So we've just got to chase, haven't we? Just got to keep chasing and keep doing what we do and hope for the best. So we'll see how we get on. But I would imagine you would go back to our lineup if possible of, Hume, O'Nien, Meppen, Hjelde probably, Patterson in goal. You've got Rigg, Neil and Job if they're all available. Possibly Enzo in instead of one of them. You've got Watson out left or Enzo out there as well. And you've got Mayenda and Roberts and Isidore. That's the team I would imagine. I don't imagine seeing Alexic starting again. I'm hoping he comes good. Really am. There's been flashes of a player in there, but I think on Norwich he wasn't played in his favoured position, so it didn't really help him out. In terms of, predictions, as it were, don't forget, if you get yours in on the comments, you can join our leaderboard. If you are correct, that's the current leaderboard at the moment. No winners on Tuesday night with the Norwich 0-0 game. I think the closest we had was about 4 people said 1-0. I was one of them, so I was rooting for a last-minute one that never came. But if you get your predictions into this video, we'll be able to count you onto our leaderboard if you get yours right. I'm thinking 1-0. Again, I think we're in our win ugly era at the moment, and this is how we'll try to frustrate throughout the playoffs. I think we're going to go Gareth Southgate tactics of don't lose football for a good couple of weeks now, which isn't the prettiest, very frustrating sometimes when you think we've got better options available, but I just think it's what we're likely to do to keep yourself in the competition, don't you? You keep going and we'll see what comes up there. So I'm going to go for a 1-0. Mike has sent me his. He's gone for a 3-0. He hasn't said which way. I'm assuming he means Sunderland there, but we'll go 3-0 Sunderland. So please do get yours in the comments below. It really helps us out. And join us for the live stream on Saturday at about 2:45. We'll have a good bit of a laugh and a chinwag throughout the game, and we'll hopefully see Sunderland a bit closer to the top 2, potentially 4 points away from Sheffield, and I can't do maths there, but potentially 6 away from the top 2 if we're lucky. Stranger things have happened. So take care, have a good Friday and a Saturday before the game, whatever you're doing, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.